On March 1st, 1954, a brilliant flash lit up the Pacific sky. It was Castle Bravo, the most powerful nuclear device the United States has ever detonated. But something went terribly wrong. The explosion was more than twice as powerful as scientists predicted. 15 megatons of raw force, and radioactive fallout reached unsuspecting residents over 100 miles away. The U.S. had entered a new era, the age of the hydrogen bomb. The hydrogen bomb, also known as a thermonuclear weapon, was a quantum leap in destructive capability. Unlike earlier atomic bombs that relied solely on fission, hydrogen bombs use fusion, the same process that powers the sun. The first successful test, Ivy Mike, on November 1st, 1952, conducted at Inuiatak Atoll in the Marshall Islands. This was the moment America proved the concept. The explosion obliterated an entire island and produced a fireball over 3 miles wide. But Ivy Mike wasn't a deployable weapon. It was massive, weighing over 80 tons, and used liquid deuterium cooled by cryogenics. Still, it signaled to the world the U.S. could unleash power on a scale never seen before. Just 2 years later, the U.S. tested Castle Bravo, the first deliverable dry-fuel hydrogen bomb. It was lighter, more practical, and vastly more powerful than expected. Scientists predicted a yield of 6 megatons. It delivered 15. That miscalculation turned Castle Bravo into an international incident. Fallout contaminated nearby atolls and even reached the crew of a Japanese fishing boat, the Lucky Dragon No. 5. The test forced the world to reckon with the terrifying unpredictability of thermonuclear weapons. As the Cold War intensified, so did the race for yield. Enter the B-41, the heaviest hitter in America's arsenal. Developed in the late 1950s and deployed by 1960, the B-41 had an estimated yield of 25 megatons. That's over 1,700 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. It was designed to be dropped from high-altitude bombers like the B-52 Stratofortress, aimed at destroying entire hardened military facilities or entire cities. But its sheer power also made it controversial. In an era of growing public concern over nuclear fallout, the B-41 symbolized the chilling reality of total annihilation. While not as powerful as the B-41, the B-53 deserves mention for its longevity and strategic role. With a yield of 9 megatons, the B-53 was built in 1962 and stayed in service for over 30 years. Designed to penetrate deep into underground bunkers, it was a key component of America's nuclear triad: land, air, and sea-based delivery systems. This bomb wasn't about wide-area destruction. It was surgical. Meant to take out underground Soviet command centers, it was part of what kept the Cold War cold. The last B-53 was dismantled in 2011, marking the end of an era. Today, the U.S. no longer builds new hydrogen bombs, but some still remain. The B-83, introduced in the 1980s, is the last high-yield nuclear bomb in the U.S. stockpile, with a maximum yield of 1.2 megatons. Unlike its predecessors, the B-83 is highly adaptable. Its yield can be dialed down for tactical missions, and it was designed for delivery from modern stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit, though reports suggest it's in the process of retirement. The B-83 represents the final chapter of an age when big meant better. Now, modern strategy leans towards smaller, more flexible weapons, though no less dangerous. From the scorching flash of Ivy Mike to the strategic silence of the B-83, America's hydrogen bombs have defined eras, shaped policies, and stood as grim reminders of human capability. These bombs weren't just weapons. They were symbols of power, of fear, of deterrence. And they still cast a long shadow over global politics today. When we talk about peace, we must never forget the power that made it necessary.